The Holy Spirit said to read Psalm 91 verses 14 and 15 for today. And, it says, because he has set his love upon me, upon Yeshua, because he set his love upon me, therefore I will deliver him. That doesn't mean you put your love on some demon. Okay? And there's people that love the attacks of their demons. They love having demons around. I will set him on high because he has known my name. Now, what do you think that means?
You became intimate with him. You became understanding
Totally intimate,
of
yes.
his words, of what he's saying,
Mm-hmm.
and accepting to, willing to accept where he's trying to correct you into straightening your walk out with him.
Right. Another factor.
So knowing his name, what he represents, the covenant that that name is part of, it's covenant too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, your identity. You
Your identity, yes.
Brother, you're his
Friend.
younger
Brother, friend, yes.
And he said,
And you're supposed to be, in another aspect of it, lining yourself up, cleansing yourself so that you can marry him.
Well, you're supposed to be his lover.
Yeah.
like to know him,
Yes.
know his will.
It's not only a
his
sense
way.
of intimacy of knowing his word
Right,
and what he stands for, but it's being a lover of him. So, he will call upon me and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. And then in verse 16 it says, I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. I will satisfy him. See, we often get caught up in things that we shouldn't be caught up in. And, when we come under attack, where do we run? To the throne? Do we run with the word of Yeshua that's in this book and start speaking it out against what's attacking and calling on the salvation? Do we know him and love him?
What I've recognized sometimes when I'm under attack, in the situation I'm in, I can't often sit there for 20 minutes trying to find the right scripture to fit that particular problem. So I'll just pick one and go with it and speak it out.
Yeah.
And what I find is, often that's enough to break the attack. Because
Yes.
quite often we don't recognize that the Holy Spirit might give us something to speak out that's part of an attack that's hidden from us, and that word speaks against that part that we can't see.
Right.
And then we can, the attack breaks.
Or sometimes it's that we don't understand more than not see.
Right.
Sometimes we feel things and say, well, what's that?
But that's happened on more than one occasion.
Yeah. And failure to do so, to call out and go to him, means he can't step in for the salvation. You're trying to do things in your own strength. So we have to keep at it, be steadfast and make those changes. Now the second part in this thing is that why should newlyweds not stay in their parents' home or grandparents' home?
Because he says, leave your mother and father. Go
He says
see your
leave,
wife. Well,
but there's a reason. What's in there? Why you're not supposed to stay in your parents' home.
Well, if you stay in your parents' home, then you're under their authority. You're supposed to make your new home.
You're supposed to make a new home, have your own authority in it, but there's something else there.
The demons that are in there will attack the newlyweds.
They will attach themselves.
Yeah, and familiar spirits and stuff like that too.
From all the way back. There is no privacy for them.
Do you need it? Your newlyweds?
Yes.
Probably, yes.
Well, yeah, but that's the whole thing of when you need time to yourself and get to know that person. How do you
Yeah.
have that quiet time when you're in a household that has a routine already?
Yeah.
Right, that household has its own routine with the people that are there, that are well established, but it's a lot of negative routines, but whether it's good routines or not, you need to establish what you're following, not what everybody else is following.
Yes, that's true. You have to establish where you and your mate are.
Yeah.
But how many here are aware that the Babylonians put a curse on newlyweds that if they stay in their family home, the curse is they will never own a home.
Because they're saw as like leeches, or they can't do it, or not capable.
Yeah, it's also a matter of creating a slave caste.
Like they would be under that household
Yes,
to bring money into that household of whoever owns it, so they would.
prosper, but not the newlyweds.
That's very interesting, that's true, yeah, because where, I see lots of situations where the children live with the parents, and the parents come to the school when the funding is cut from the student, because now their household doesn't have that money. They're
Right.
not interested in what's happening with their child, they want the funding that that child receives
Right.
to pay their bills, and lots of them come to school so their parents can pay their bills with their money.
So if that curse was never leveled by the Babylonians in that time, then the word would never have to have been given that they shall leave the home. Would that be accurate?
Well, the word was that they would be cursed, and cursed forever, not to have a home.
So that would imply not only their children, children's children, but their eternal life would be at risk as well. 'Cause
Yes, you will not know where you belong. You won't know that you're part of the kingdom. You won't know you're part of the family of God.
which leads you into walking in the strength of the flesh.
Right. Which will always fail you. So, it used to be in Israel that the eldest son would seldom get married, but he was the one that was going to take care of the parents. So all the main wealth went to him, not the parents, once he moved into the home.
It became his, so by default, it became his home, not the parents' home.
Right.
He was free of that curse.
Yeah, and so what has developed since then is there's been elder abuse to get rid of them, so they wouldn't have to look after them and
Take everything.
take everything, yeah.
You see a lot of that.
Yeah,
Even if there was no curse from Babylon, it's still the principle of leaving your father and mother, cleaving your wife is still there.
Mhm.
You're still breaking a principle.
You're making a basic principle. The thing that's in there is it becomes 80 to 90% harder to get to know Yeshua when you're in a home that's ruled by your parents.
Okay.
Because you're relying on them, not God.
What about a
Very important.
woman that marries a fellow and a man, and they live in the parents' house? Will that affect the wife as well?
Yes,
It will. How do you?
the two are one.
Yeah, how do you break that off? How, just the blood of Jesus and
It's,
communion? Or,
see, that curse has to get a release. And
reject, break off and cancel?
it's turnover, reject, break off,
Okay.
but then you gotta speak the blessing in. If
Oh,
there's
yeah.
no blessing spoken in, the curse comes back.
Stronger.
That's what you said, that they will look to the parent and not God,
Yeah.
is so, so important.
Right. It is.
And this applies too, would it not, to if a person ends up marrying a demon while they're still living in their parents' home? That's a
Mm.
marriage.
Right.
And it's the same rules and principles all still apply,
Mm-hmm.
being married to a demon.
Yes. Is now entitled to not only take your life, but also your parents' life. And all the wealth.
And you get nothing and they get nothing. Everyone
Yeah.
but death, perhaps.
Yeah. Suffering and death.
Yeah.
Pastor Gerald, what happens when the newlywed couple have their own home? Okay, but then family members or friends come to live with them.
Yeah, that's
And
not
there-
a problem.
Not a problem.
Because your rules have been
Yeah,
established.
it's
Good.
your home, where where it was dedicated for your family.
Okay.
And so once you have established yourself there and somebody moves in, it's not a problem. That's why it's so important that from that Psalm 91 is to get the point, because he has set his love upon me. Therefore, I will deliver him. If you are living under your parents and you're married, you cannot set your love upon Yeshua,
Constantly trying to please your parents.
because you have to please your parents, yes. And obey them, because you're under their roof.
I don't have my inspired margins with me today, but I remember you were saying that verse, to set his love, it's like hand in glove, so
Mhm.
close like hand in glove.
Yeah. And see, the releasing of the kingdom blessings, your heavenly accounts of what's been built up for the work or for things to get done, can't happen. That's an immediate blocker and establishes the immediate curse.